Oh, sorry guys, if there's someone here. I'm so sorry. I just have to send the links. That's why I'm so quiet. And I'm doing it through my phone because it's easier to do that. So I apologize if it seems like I'm rude. I'm not. I just have to send out the pictures. Not the pictures, the live stream, so people understand that I'm live. Okay, I'll see what you are writing. Right, just give me 1 second and I'll see what you are talking about. Six is watching. I'm sorry. Okay, guys. Let's see what can happen. Oh. Hello, everyone. How are you? Nat. Hi, Nat. Nat. 1B2C as completions for ignoring us. Oh shit! Oh, no! How are you guys? Is everything okay? The market is on its way down, so we're just coming back down to 54K, right? This is Ethereum, and I want to start up with Bitcoin. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is the music too loud? Flududu, hi Sweden, hello wherever you are from. Quality. Yes, stuck in BTC long, going down. Well, that's not good. Because it looks like the market is going down even further. I'm still working and it's live. You started as a visitor. Oh, well, you're so good, Davor. Thank you. Nice and clear. Okay, good. All good. Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay, having huge momentum to the downside if we're going. So right now we're looking at Bitcoin. And yesterday we did actually break this trend line that I did have on the daily chart. As you can see right here, had a nice breakout. Going to the lower time frames, we didn't have the retest. We could come up again, obviously, because the market, it can just move. And the bot at 60 and it's falling. I bought it with him. Well, hello Tesfaye. Well, I had 60,000 to sell the market. I hope for everyone that you are, whatever, if you're in a long position or if you're in a short position, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having risk management, because if that's so, you should be fine. Remember guys, risk management is key, because when you're using risk management, you will not get stressed out and you will not lose so much money on your account. That's like two best things with risk management, right? Okay, let's see. So what I did was I actually did have my, was looking at the daily on Bitcoin, and I was looking at this previous low that we're having around 60,800, and we actually retested it so perfectly today at so this 4-hour candle. Market, it's on its way down. So obviously if from this level that we are in right now, we could come up and retest the support again, because this is a previous support, right? Then we could come up, because I see market coming back down even more, but that is just because I'm basing it of the market structure. Market structure is telling us we're going down, so I'm taking a Fibonacci from 65,800 to the lowest point at 59,000. So you're having the Fibonacci levels 50 and 61% around 62,400, and you're having it at 63,200. So this is how it looks. So even if you're coming back up, the market could come up and retest the trend line, and that is also combined with Fibonacci. And then market could come back down. My target that I'm having is around 52,000 and 54,000. And I'm basing that of the higher time frames, the weekly previous high, also Fibonacci combined with that, as you can see, and that is the 52,000. And you know, market did create a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. So market right now just might come back down, create the higher low for then continuing to the upside. But guys, if you're not looking at the higher time frames, I understand that you're scared because it looks like the market is going down forever, but it's pretty far. So for example, from this level we are exactly right now to where the target is for 54,200. That is 1,000 pips. So market is going to move 1,000 pips from where it is right now. Or if you're coming back down to 52,000 or on that level, that is 1,000. It's almost 2,000 pips the market is moving. Should I buy or not? I'm not gonna tell anyone what you're gonna do because I am no financial advisor. I'm just gonna show you guys what I see. And I see the market coming back down. And this is what I always talk about. When you're always trying to find buy opportunities, you will ignore everything the market is telling you when the market is going down. So you do whatever you want to do. I'm never gonna tell anyone what to do. I can be wrong. I'm not gonna tell you I'm right. This is just what I see. So that is why you need to decide yourself what to do. So yeah, this is what I see right now. We're looking at the 12-hour chart. We perfectly came back up and retested. But the thing is, I mean, if we're coming back down to 54K, the market has to break this level at 58,000 first of all. Then the market is gonna come to 55,500, you know, so the market is not just gonna break to the downside. Obviously the market can come up, go down, up, down. So the market is just moving. Everyone know how the market is moving. So you will not see just a huge candlestick right now coming back down to 52K and then you see market going straight up. No, I mean, this takes a while. It can take 2 days, it can take 2 weeks, depending on how the market is moving. But just one recommendation, if you're always trying to see long position because you always want to add your positions, that is why you're losing your money, is because you're ignoring everything the market is telling you what it's doing. Good morning, lady. Always nice to see you too, Mr. NC. Can you please check? Yes, of course I can. Thank you so much. Mama, you didn't listen carefully what Andy was talking about. You should check again on your stream. Andy predicted as well. You just have to do the opposite of what he says. I don't understand what you're meaning with that, but everyone sees the market in different ways. And that is just the way it is. That's just the way it is. You know? Okay, so we're looking at XRP. Thank you so much, Devor, for helping me with that. So we're looking at well, of course we do. I just told you that. We're looking at XRP. I'm having this trend line right here. So trend lines is so good. Trend line is amazing. Okay, so I'm having a trend line on the daily from the 21st of July. We had the second touch at 28th of October, and we're having the market retouching the trend line again on today on the 17th of October, and yesterday also 16th. So when we're going back down to the lower time frames, we could see that we're having the fake out, and that is also combined with a higher time frames Fibonacci, and I took it on the 12-hour chart. So I took the Fibonacci from 0.8 to the highest point around 1.3, and that gives us the levels just where the market is right now. So right now we're respecting the 50% level at 1.08. We almost came back down and retested 1.03. I know that you're looking pretty. Your tea is just amazing. You deserve. Thank you so much. Now we are here all the way from Andy. It's so good. Oh my god. And his people is here. That is great. Okay, so we did have the fake out on XRP, and two things could definitely happen right now. Either we're seeing the market retesting this trend line and continues to the upside. Because remember, guys, when we're having the fake out, the market is usually going to the opposite direction. It looks like we're coming back down, and market goes up, market comes inside of the trend line again, and market goes up. Or we can come back down even more, so we just might see the market breaking the trend line, continues back down to maybe 1.03, and then just might continue to the upside. It's really hard to tell, guys. I cannot tell you what it's gonna do. I can only show you what potentially could happen right now. But obviously we're having a 4-hour candle. We can also go down to the lower time frames. And we could have a counter trend line because the market is in the uptrend. So it could look something like this. So we're taking a trend line on the 4-hour chart from the highest point around 1.32 to the next touch that we did have around 1.2. So what could potentially also happen is that market comes up to this counter trend line and then it goes back down. Good to know that everyone sees the market in a different way. My question is, are we seeing what we want to see or what the market is doing? I mean, that depends on yourself. And that is something that you have to train yourself. You know, you have to train yourself, and that's a good thing. You understand how the market is moving. Timbuktu, wow, master of favors here. Yes, it's me. Everyone, please go inside and like this video live stream so we can reach out to more people. Villation is here. Joseph, yes, thank you. Georgie Juice, I have a job interview in an hour, so usually can't watch these lives. Hope it's going good for you. And I bought BTC at 67, then BTC reached to the impossible. Hello everyone, how are you? Thank you for being on this live stream, everyone. If you don't know me, oh, just 1 second, guys. Okay, let's see. Hi, Natalie. Okay, so XRP can do that. Or maybe I can do it. Just one second, guys. I just need to fix something just super quick. Super quick. Give me 1 second and I'll continue with the I think that's good. Okay, let's see. So on the XRP, I do believe we could come back. Yeah, I just want to see how this 4-hour candle is closing in 42 minutes, and after that, obviously, we just might have on the lower time frames. We can take it on the 3-hour chart. No, it doesn't look that good. Yeah, just wait for the 4-hour candle. Natalie, you read but skip. I bought BTC at 67 currently. I am a big loss. Can I hold more when BTC reaches that target, please? Nishar, I see Bitcoin coming back down to 54K. That's what I see, but I can be wrong too. Juice send me answers, and if we check coins at a time, keep the chat spam free, and that's it. I would say. Okay, what other? Okay, so we're looking at G, E, and USD. I guess it's USDT. I don't know what. Whoa, okay. G, E, and USD. I think that is better. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is the only thing that I got. So I don't have so much data on this pair. So I mean, I'll try. I will really try. So it's easier for me to go to the 1-hour chart. Maybe the 3-hour chart is better. And it looks like okay, so let's see what we can do here. So I'm gonna use the Fibonacci, but I'm gonna use this one instead so I can see what potentially could happen. Okay, so guys, this could happen is that we are no. Okay, potentially what could happen. Now we're looking at the 3-hour chart. We can also look at the 1-hour chart. So what could potentially happen, obviously, is that we're breaking the Fibonacci levels. We can come up to 61% or the 50%, and that is around 0.349. And then we could see market continuing back down. And if that also happens on the 1-hour chart, you can see that we're having a head and shoulder. And obviously the market is in a uptrend, but this is the pullback. But it's really hard when we're having a huge candlestick like this. So that could potentially happen, but market could also come back down and retest 0.323. And at that point, either we're gonna hold it as a new support,
continuation to the upside, or we will break the support, resistance, I'm sorry, break the resistance, and we are having the resistance again. And at that point we could also take the Fibonacci, because that's the same thing that I just showed you. And we're going down to the lower yeah, so this is super good, guys. So you have either the market could come back down, retest continuation to the upside. You can also have a fake out, so it looks like we're coming back down, but we're having a candle closing above the resistance again, retest it as a new support, and then you see market continues to the upside. Or we'll actually break it, come back up and retest 68 or 50%, the market goes back down. But the target could be either the previous support that we had around 0.258, or we can come back down to this next support that we're having around 0.223. And then I just might see the market continuing to the upside. So that's something that could happen. Don't buy the top boys. Hey Natalie. Hello, Marvick, you're here. Hello, how are you? Don't chase green candles. That's how you get stopped out. Very informative. What's the system like here? What's the effective strategy in crypto? Sell on top or hold for longer? Depends on what type of trader you are. I mean, the lower time frames you're looking at, the smaller targets you'll have, obviously. And I'm using sell as high as possible and try to buy as low as possible. Okay, so we're looking at okay, the divorce says UFO. Is this the one? Okay, so it just might be this one. So we're looking at the higher time frames on the daily. We're making clear lower lows, lower highs, I'm sorry. You can see right here. This is also a W. Okay, so I'm just gonna adjust this trend line. We're looking at the daily first. Yeah, that was the daily. We're looking at the okay, so we could come up to the trend line one more time around 0.60. Could come back down. We're having the previous support right here at 44. I'm gonna take the Fibonacci just to see. Yeah, okay, so I'm taking Fibonacci from 62 down to the lowest point right here at 50. And we can right now see that we've been retesting the Fibonacci 2 times. During this 4-hour candle, we actually came up and retested them, but we could come up again. We just might break the Fibonacci levels, but we're coming up to the trend line and then see the market continues back down. So targets that I'm having, if this Fibonacci will hold, the first target is 47, the second target is 40, and the third target is 35. So that's what I see. Obviously, when we're coming back down to the support right here around 44, you'll see the market, you know, it doesn't have to break it right away. But as long as I could see the market actually potentially do that, we can come back up, you know, down to the levels that I was talking about. But we can also, you know, consolidate between the trend line and the support. Looking at this support we've been trying, you know, you had several fake outs, you had a wick down to the support. So this is a strong level where the market could be drawn back down to. Sweet, buy the UFO dip. Hello, beautiful souls. Hope everyone is doing well today, making, raking in it, just not letting yourself get wrecked. Exactly. MIR. Okay, we're looking at MIR. Tether is the same thing right here. Oops. We're having the market in a downtrend, as we can see. So just adjust it. We're also having a support, looking first of all on the weekly. And then we're adjusting it when we're coming back down to the lower time frame. So we're looking at the daily right now, and we had so many fake outs from this support. So what could potentially happen is obviously that we will have another fake out. So okay, so this is the daily candle. Okay, let's do something like I just want to see where I can have the trend line. Okay, so I'm gonna have it like this. On the 12-hour chart, I'm using the trend line. So right now, what could potentially happen is that we're actually just retesting this this support at 2.7, and after that we could actually continue back up. So maybe to the trend line that I'm having around, yeah, I mean, I cannot say exactly what number because the trend line has, I mean, yeah. Yeah, so we just have to wait and see what the market is doing against the support at 2.786, around that level. Because every time the market came to this level, the market spiked to the upside. But obviously, if the market is breaking it and you see retest, market continues back down. If we're seeing a pullback, because looking at this, we are in a downtrend. If we're taking Fibonacci from 3.096 to the lowest point at 2.763, we could also see the market coming up to this level and create a lower high around 2.9. Yeah, and then you just might see the market, depending on how the market is moving against the support. I mean, it can just consolidate, fake us out, continues back down. So I definitely want to see, you know, because you can see on this candle right here, on the 4-hour chart, we did have an engulfing candle. And looking at these three, 1, 2, 3, that is a morning star against a support. That means the market could continue back up. Yeah, so we'll see. What else can we see? LRC,
Thank you so much, Devor, for helping me. Let's see. Good morning. Can you just... hi, Natalie. Nice to see you. Live again. Time here in Malta is 16:27. Oh, it's the same thing here for us. Thank you so much for having you here. Thank you, guys. It's 62 people watching. It's 53 people that like this live stream. Please, guys, go inside and like this live stream so we can be able to reach out to more people. We're trying to make trading easy, even if it's hard. Okay, looking at LRC USDT. Okay, so the weekly, during this week we've been bearish. We just broke the support. We did break the support, and this is the good thing. So let's see what we can do. No, 12-hour chart maybe. Okay, so this is what happened. So why I'm having my support right here is because we can see the market faked us out. You had the retest with this little wick. We had the market coming back down, but we retested the support, continuation to the downside. So obviously the market has already done its move during this 4-hour candle, and that, I mean, it's 26 minutes left of this candle. So market is just going down. We could come back down to 2.002. Be drawn back down to this level, and then we just might come up depending on how the market is moving back down, but we could definitely come back up gone back down. So yeah, it looks like market is doing a pullback, guys. So I mean, the market will not go down forever, but it has to come back down. Okay, we can also take a Fibonacci from 1.1 to the highest point at 3.2. Just looking at this, guys, you're having the overall picture is uptrend. Market needs to come back down for a pullback, and when the market is pullbacking, people are getting freaked out. This is just a normal thing the market is doing. Market come back down, and can you see how we are in the middle of the previous support right here? Market continuation to the upside. So I was sincerely, oh well, glad I did end my crypto mines. SNX. We're looking at SNX, and we are right now, because we have been on this before and we have been analyzing it, and we are right now where the Fibonacci is, but I think I want to change this. I just want to see how it looks. No, it's not good. Okay, so we're about to break. So on the weekly chart, we've been going down.
We are in a downtrend on the weekly chart. I'm gonna take this Fibonacci away. So we're just looking at the trend line first of all, and we're gonna adjust it like this. Okay, so this is a perfect trend line. It's super perfect. Super perfect. It's really good. And we are coming back down to this previous resistance. We had a fake out from this level around 14th of July 2001. So this is where we are heading back down to right now. And that is on the weekly chart. So remember guys, when you're coming to a weekly support, the market will have trouble breaking this level. So just looking back in time, you can see the last time the market was down here, we've been as this as a support two times, and you've been here as a resistance. So when the market will come back down to around $8 and $7, whatever you want to say, market will have trouble breaking this level. We just might, but at that point we're also using the trend line that I'm having on the daily chart. Market can come back down. Like just a small target that we could see market coming up and retesting. 9.3 comes back down, and when we are between 8 and 7, this is where we have to start to see how the market is reacting, because trust me guys, the market will try to break it, but you could also get faked out. Market comes inside and then starts to continue up to the trend line, and then it will just bounce off the support and the trend line that we're having. So these are there's no point of me going down to the lower time frames, because the market is not that far away from the support. I mean, yeah, but that's what I expect right now on SNX. It's gonna bounce between 9.2 coming back down to 7, around those levels. You just might see the market bounce off of these before the market decides if it's gonna go up or if it's gonna go down. Okay, so let's see Okay, bye Mark, nice to have you here. Okay, let's see what other pair I was looking at. Okay, so we're looking at ACH. Still same thing here. We are on our way down. Taking a trend line. We're adjusting the trend line from the highest point. So 3 days ago we did retest the trend line one more time, but we didn't have the power to do that. Market continues back down. So this is a strong trend line that we're having. We're also having the support around 0.58. We're taking a Fibonacci on the 4-hour chart. If we see the market coming back down again or coming back up, can you see? I mean, it kind of already happened, but it can definitely come up again. So I'm taking my Fibonacci from 0.9 to 0.7. Market came up and retested the 50% around 0.8, but we could definitely come up to that level again, and then you see market continues to the downside. Because right now we are the market is going down, but yeah, and we also retested the previous support that we did have around 0.861. And the target we could see market coming back down to is 0.586. But as long as we're using the trend line, if we see the market, if we are gonna respect it or not. Okay guys, just want to show you right now, we're having on Phoenix, we have up to $5,100 in bonus. So it's up to 4,100. So on Phoenix, we do have bonus up to $4,100. And obviously depending on what you're depositing to it, but it is up to 4,100. So please guys, you have the link in the description. If you're just scrolling down on this video, you'll see exactly how to use it. So if you're clicking on the link, it takes like less than 1 minute to sign up on Phoenix. So you should definitely take advantage of and claim that bonus that we're having for you. Natalie yes. Okay, we're looking at AAVE, taking everything away from the charts. Sometimes it's better just start from the beginning. We're looking at the monthly, and we are creating, let's see. We're on our way down to the monthly support. And guess, guys, what's going to happen when we're coming to a monthly support? It's going to be trouble for the market to break that level. I can promise you that. Okay, so we're having a perfect trend line as always. Okay, so we're having the monthly support around between 240 260. So when the market comes to this level, the same thing can happen right here. So it just might look like we're breaking to the downside, but we're coming back up inside, and we're inside the support again. Can you see here? So this was a fake out, market comes up, another fake out, market comes up again to the trend line, comes back down to support, bounce off to the trend line, comes back down to support, and then the market just might come up to the trend line again. So these are the levels the market is just going between now, and the monthly support, as I told you. So when we're coming to the monthly support, the market will not just break it. The market will not just break it. I can promise you. If we're looking at the lower time frames, we did have the market. The market is doing lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low. We're just having a huge movement to the downside. But if you see the market actually coming up, I'm taking Fibonacci from 315 to 270. So we could potentially see the market coming up to 61%,
We can also come up to a previous support that we're having around 304. And then we just might see the market continue back down. The market is in a downtrend, so the market creates lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. But when we're coming to the support that I was talking about, this is the monthly support. It's a lot of things. Either the market will just consolidate between these levels, either break it or come back up again. A box. Okay, so it's 52 people here. So as you know, guys, I usually ask you where you're from because I think it's really funny to see where you guys are from. So I'm from Sweden. It's a very cold country that I'm living in. So where are you from? I know a lot of people is from Argentina. You have Mexico. We have the United States. We have Holland. We have India. I know a lot of people from India is here. Egypt is here. I can see that by your name, mommy. Florida, India, Bulgaria is here. Yeah, Joseph. Yeah. North Pole. Wow, that's cold. Germany. Oh, Germany. USA, Wisconsin. Portugal, Malaysia, yeah, it's short for Mohammed. Sorry. Oh, Mummy, stupid! Smart, Natalie, smart. Malta, Amsterdam. Yeah, we're from all over the world. I was on surf trip in Elvasandor and was still watching you. That's so good. Never taking the eye off the charts. Okay, looking at AVAX. Okay, so we're taking the previous high that we're having around 98.10. And that is on the daily, so it's a good target for us to use. I can just drag, yeah, something like that. So potentially what could happen, I want to see a bearish candlestick to the downside. Well, I do have it on the 1 hour chart, but obviously the higher time frame is better. But if we're taking a Fibonacci from 94.77 and taking it to the highest point at 102.62, we're actually having the Fibonacci around exactly where I'm having my support, my previous resistance. So if the market does decide to come back down, the market could definitely come back down to these levels. As always, you have a fake out. Market comes inside of the support, retest the 50 and 61% again, and then we just might see the market coming back down. But it's really hard, when the market is having the momentum to the upside, so we just have to wait. We just, have to wait for the market to come back down, because I would, for myself, I can only speak for myself, but I would never go in for a long position when the market is where it is right now, because that's how you're losing your money, is when you're starting to buy the market because you're afraid that you will lose this trade. So you're jumping in because you think the market will, have another 3 huge candlesticks to the upside. What's happening at that point is that you're actually gonna see
bearish candlestick because the market is having the highest point, has to come back down to create liquidity for then continue to the upside. So what happens, I can almost promise you 90% can have done this and will do it or is doing that, is that you're buying right here because your emotions is telling you that you do not want to miss this trade. Patient is key, guys. I would wait for the market to come back down to 98. Natalie, I am the Canadian in the house. Well, hello, Bernard. So Russia is here. Well, that's good. Smash the like button. Hi, Hannah. My dad is from the fatherland. Okay, GRT. GRT. And Timbuktu is here too. Bamboo Beach is here. Nice. I hope you're having great weather because we do not have that in Sweden. So in Sweden this morning, it looks like we're in a dead city. You know, woke up, was looking outside the window. What did I see? Everything's gray. And Sweden is actually one of the most, if you want to know this is terrible, but Sweden actually is one of the highest countries that's having people having suicide, and especially when it comes to men. And I think it's not just the weather, but when you're not having sun is very important, and we don't have that in Sweden, and you know, it's a lot of pressure, stuff like that. But we have like sunshine never here, and that is, I think, Swedish people are not so we're not super friendly, or we don't want to talk to each other. But when the summer's coming, we're happy. Yep. Don't think about making money fast. Hello all. Hello. Thank you. Not going back to work. Okay. Have a good day. Can you help me kick me out of the house if I don't pay the bit? What? I'm aware that, yeah, Switzerland. Richard Jackson. Sorry, Richard. We're actually just looking at cryptocurrencies on this live stream. Oh, changed your name. Okay, so sorry, I was just talking about other things, but sometimes, you know, it's friendly speaking about some other things too. Okay, so looking at this on GRT, we are having a huge movement to the downside. So why I am having this support and resistance right here is that because we saw the market trying to break this level, couldn't hold it, came back up and retested the resistance. As a new resistance, market continues back down. So the market has already done the big move because that was on the daily. But on the higher time frames, lower time frames, we can take the Fibonacci on the 4-hour chart. So I usually want to use my Fibonacci on the higher time frames because it takes some time for the market to actually come to these levels, but when the market is actually at that level, it's a higher probability for the market actually to retest it instead of just having it on the 15 minutes chart or on the 1-hour chart. It depends, but I like to have my Fibonacci on the 4-hour. Florida is 75 degrees and I'm loving it. Weather we're going up. Man, I literally hate you right now. Yeah, me too. You can take your weather. We don't even want that. Okay, so GRT. Okay, sorry, I am new and I'm stupid. No, you're not stupid. If you don't know, you don't know. It's okay. But we can see market coming up on GRT for a pullback to create a lower high around 1.02. And then the market could continue back down. Targets for the market to come back down to, well, looking at the higher time frames, remember that we're having a trend line right here. Doesn't have to come back down there. But the targets, that I'm having, if we're coming up to around 1.02, is the first target is 0.8,
Third target is around 0.7, and the third one is just where the trend line is, and that is around 0.6. It takes a while, obviously, because this is on the daily, but these are the long-term target. But as you know, guys, a lot of things that will happen in between. Always remember that, especially on the higher time frames. So higher time frames, you need to have more patience for it, but when the market actually is coming to these levels, it's really good. Okay, Phil. Looking at Phil. Taking everything away, so we're just starting over. And let's see. We're having the trend line. And just gonna adjust it a little bit like that. Same thing. So most of the pairs is looking the same. So let's see how we can take the, okay, so it can look something like this. Okay, so this is good. So we're taking the weekly support and we're adjusting it on the daily to see. Okay, so we've been here as a resistance. You had the support, you had the fake out retest, and then the market came to the trend line. We're having another support right here on the daily chart because we're having multiple supply demand zones, support resistance zones, whatever you want to call it. But the market could definitely break this level right now, retest, comes back down to the weekly support. Also, you just might have the same thing happening here. You see the market breakout, retest, continues up. Remember that we're having the previous support where the market can come to, and you're also having the trend line where the market can come up to. But something that also can happen around this level is that you just might see the market continue back down, then you have the fake out on this support, instead market continues back up. Because on the even on the higher time frames we are in a downtrend, but also on the lower time frames. And to be honest, on the 4-hour chart, we're just consolidating right here between 66 and 56. So the market is just bouncing off of these levels. So that is why I'm telling you guys, so when we are in a consolidation market, the market is going from support to resistance, resistance to support. So if we're seeing the market coming inside of this support, I can promise you the market will come back up to the resistance one more time. How long? I have no idea how long the market will, go between these levels, but eventually it has to break to either one direction. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? Do you feel like it's easy for me, for you to understand the way I teach? If there's something that you want me to explain even more, just tell me in the chat and I'll try to do that, because everyone is learning in different ways. But I'm trying to teach as easy as possible because, I'm just trying to explain the way I would want someone to explain it to me. Because when I started trading, it's really hard. It's really hard sometimes. And when you're starting to have 25 million indicators and you have 55 billion lines on the chart, the only thing you can be is confused. So I'm trying for myself and for you guys to have it as simple as possible. Because when you're looking at trading, and especially if you're new, it's like a whole new environment and it will give you headaches. So that's what I'm trying to do on my channel, is that I'm really trying to make it as easy as possible. Because I know when I started, it was pretty hard. Okay, so we're looking at TRX, and I'm having the trend line on the support right here, and I have the support as a downtrend, and I'm taking it, both of them, on the daily, and we're just gonna try to adjust it when we're going down to the 4-hour chart, because it takes some time. But guys, please bear with me. This looks good. Yep. Okay, and that was the resistance trend line. Oh yeah, okay, so these are my trend lines that I'm having. If you want to screenshot it, you can definitely do that. This is on the daily, but we're looking down to the lower time frames. So we are bouncing in between this support trend line and this resistance trend line. But obviously we're pretty far away, so it's a lot of things that could happen. But we're looking at the daily, the 4-hour chart, and we are having, let's see what we can do. Okay, so sometimes it's better to use the line chart, but it didn't look that good. Okay, so we can do something like this, guys. So we're having the high right here at 0.11. We're also having a resistance right here where the market actually came and retested. So we're gonna take this one away because the market is too far away from it. Remember guys, we're trying to keep it simple, stupid, right? And what do we have here? Well, we have a head and shoulder. What could happen is that we just might move this trend line, or the resistance down a little bit more, because this was a previous resistance, also a previous support, also a previous support right here. So this is the good thing. You have the support, you have the market breaking it, you have the retest, break, retest, continuation. Break, retest, comes back down, try to break it, fake out. So if we're going down to the lower time frames right now, the market could come back up to, I'm just gonna take that one away. We're taking Fibonacci instead from 0.11 to the highest point and lowest point to 0.11030. So the Fibonacci is just where this support and resistance, there was a resistance, a support. So we could potentially see, if we're having the market coming up a little bit, the market can come up to 0.11224. Market comes back down. But that is only if we see the market actually respecting these levels. So we don't want to have huge bullish candlesticks breaking it. But usually when you're having the fake out, this is what the market is doing. Market breaks, retest, continues back down. So the targets that I'm having could be around 0.10, but we could also come back down to 0.1. Yes, TRX. I was looking at that. Yeah, that's great. Hello from Netherlands. Hi, Netherlands. You are very professional. Good job. Well done. Thank you so much. Can you show BTC? Okay, I'm looking at BTC later because we've been going through that. Hi, Natalie. Good to be back to see you live trading. Thank you so much. Hey, Natalie, any chance you could take a look at? Yes, Davor will tell me when to do that. Varsågod. Okay, Davor, link next, please. Of course, Davor. And Devor is such a nice guy, helping me to see what pairs I'm gonna look at. Was that the one? No? Link? So guys, please tell me what is what's the hardest thing for you guys? Just ask me questions. I mean, when you're on the live stream like this, try to ask as many questions as possible, because that's the only way you learn. And I'll try to explain it as easy as I can. You know? But on these live streams, I want to help you. I really want to help you guys. So if there's anything I can do, please let me know. The only thing I'm not gonna do is tell you when to buy or when to sell. So you don't have to ask that. Right? But you know that because you guys are so smart. Okay, so we're having the market coming back down to the resistance, the trend line that we're having on the weekly. I took it from the lowest point around, that was on the 19th of July. You're having multiple touches going down to the weekly, the daily, sorry. You can see that we are right now respecting this trend line. So guys, trend lines is 90% more respected than support and resistance zones. So that is why it's really good having the trend lines, and especially on the high time frames, because when the market comes to these levels, the market is definitely respecting it, as you can see. Okay, so I want to see how it looks on the... So I'm taking a Fibonacci on the weekly chart from 20.90 to the highest point at 33.72. We're going down to the lower time frame, so that is just slightly under the trend line that we're having. And let's see, that is on the daily. Yeah, so we could either come back down. It looks like we're coming back down even more to the trend line. That could be around 28. But if we're breaking it, we could come back down to 27 and 25 for then continue to the upside. Because remember guys, we are in the uptrend, market pullback, can come back down to the Fibonacci levels, and then we start to see the market breaking to the upside after a while. At that point, I'm gonna adjust my trend line to wherever the market is coming to, if we're seeing the market breaking to the upside again, obviously. But right now we're having a previous resistance, also a previous support on the daily chart. We can adjust it because these, yeah, this looks so good. So let's see. So we saw the market trying to break this level to the upside. We didn't have the power to do that. And I'm using these previous targets right here that you can see market try to fake you out, comes back inside, continues to the upside. And the market tried to come up again, take Fibonacci. The market actually, I take the Fibonacci from the 4-hour chart from 30.36 to the lowest point at 28.49. Market came up, retested, and just closed below 61%, continuation to the downside. So the market has already done its move, but we can also come and retest 50% of this candlestick right here, and that could be around 29.30. Market comes back down. So on every pair right now, we're actually at a very good target to see how the market will react to it. But this is also when you have to wait, because you don't know if the market's going to break to the downside or if the market's actually going to continue to the upside. Capiche? We're all thinking that no problem. Charting fibs is the hardest thing for me, Joe McDonald.
Okay, so just one quick so when I'm using my Fibonacci and I'm trying, because Fibonacci is when you're trying to find where the pullback can be. So for example, when you are in a uptrend, you can take Fibonacci from the lowest point to the highest point. So that is the low, previous low, high. So when you see the market coming back down to this level, you want to see how the market is reacting to those. When the market is in a downtrend and you want to see a pullback, you're always taking it from the highest point to the lowest point when you see the market actually coming up. And it's the same thing. You can see market coming up and pull back to the 50 and 61%, continues back down. And I also have a Fibonacci, I also have a small Fibonacci video. So please, if Deborah have the time to give you that, you can look at my Fibonacci. Nicola Trax would like to know how you scalp crypto. So for example, when if I want to scalp, I don't scalp crypto right now. I did it before, but what I'm doing is that I'm trying to see where the support and resistance zones is. Let's see. So for example, you are in a uptrend. You see, so when I'm scalping, it's when you're having the pullback. You can see the market is in a uptrend, the market pulls back. So, and usually what I am doing is that I am taking, so let's say for example that this hasn't happened. So everything in this box is not existing. So this is not existing right now, guys. So for example, I'm using the higher time frames Fibonacci from the 4-hour chart. So when I see the market comes back down, let's say it looks like something like this, I know that the target that I'm having for the market to come back down to, you don't do 1 to 5 minutes time frame. No, I never do that. My scalping is when I'm going down to I'm using the higher time frames target, and after that I'm going down to the lower time frames because we are in the uptrend. So I'm just taking quick, I'm scalping on the lower time frames around 15. Sometimes I can go down to the 5 minutes chart to see. So at that point I'm just trying to use the trend line if we're coming back up to that level. But I am also, at that point, I'm using Fibonacci. So from the highest point to the lowest point, market comes back into that level, I sell the market. The next target that I'm having is that I see, okay, we're creating a new high and we're creating a new low. So from the highest point to the lowest point, market comes to the Fibonacci, market goes back down. So for example, at this point, okay, higher time frames, I'm taking Fibonacci from the highest point to the lowest point. Market didn't come up to the Fibonacci levels. I'm not taking the trade. And the next time you see market coming back down to from the highest point to the lowest point, you had the market retesting 50%, 50%, 50%, and then you saw the fake out, market reacts. So it depends on, I don't do this so much right now. I don't have time to do it because it gives me headache. But the thing that I'm doing is that I'm using the higher time frames. So I could see the market coming back down to the Fibonacci levels, right, that I'm having on the 4-hour chart. And then I'm just scalping the market, the pullback. Because the thing is that you don't know if the market will come back down to this 4-hour Fibonacci. You don't know that. So that is something I used to do it before, but right now I'm trying to see bigger targets. But I never ever go and trade on a 1 minute to 5 minutes. I would lose my mind. Okay, last question about scalping. Would you trade with leverage and how much? No, I wouldn't trade with leverage when I'm scalping. No, but that's something, everyone's different, so you decide. But when you're scalping, and if you're scalping pullback, I'm pretty careful. I'm pretty careful about that. Okay, we're looking at DOT, and after that I want to see what's happening on Bitcoin, because someone told us that Bitcoin is pumping, so that's going to be interesting to see what's happening. Okay, looking at DOT, I took the Fibonacci before from 28.44 to the highest point at 52.10. So that is where we want to see the market could potentially come back down to. We could also take it from this low right here, but it's almost the same thing, from 25.41. So the 61% is combined with the previous high that we're having, and that is around 35.89. This is on the weekly now, guys. But we're having a huge candlestick, so I'm not just buying the market because we are at the 50%. I would never do that. But what I want to see is if we're seeing the market actually starts to slow down. And we can also use this previous support. Previous support at 41.47. And we're actually just retesting that level, and we just might see the market breaking to the downside again, and then we start to see the market continuing to the upside when we are inside of the higher time frames Fibonacci. Because when you're looking at the daily, so we're having a indecision candle right here. Indecision candle, you want to call it a doji. So I mean, we've been going to the upside, we've been going to the downside, but the market haven't decided what to do. But when we're looking at the previous daily candle, we're having a huge bearish candlestick breaking this previous support at 40. And we are just right now, we just might retest this level. At this point, I can take Fibonacci from the highest point at 42.17 to the lowest point at 40.74. We could see the market potentially coming up and retest the 1561%, and that is just 41.44 comes back down. And targets, well, we have to look and see how the market is reacting around these levels. But usually the market always respects the 50% more than it respects the 61%. Yeah, so that's what I see on DOT. Fake out to the upside, comes in, retest the support, become new resistance, market goes back down. Okay, so we're having the market. Someone told me that Bitcoin was pumping. Bitcoin is pumping. How is the market pumping? Do you see something that I do not see? Because I don't see that. Okay, so we're looking at Ethereum, ATOMUSTT. So guys, if you haven't liked this live stream, please go inside and like this live stream so we are able to reach out to more people and just show them how we are looking at the charts. Please subscribe to this channel because I always have daily updates about cryptocurrencies. I have multiple live streams during the week, and as I told you guys, if you didn't hear it, I always try to make trading as easy as possible. I'm trying to simplify everything so much because it's really hard. So please guys, go inside, subscribe to this channel, and like this live stream so we're able to reach out to more people. Okay, so we're looking at, why is it, vad skulle jag kolla på? Atom. We're looking at Cosmos. We're starting over again. Taking away everything. Yeah, someone was fooling me. Oh, Bitcoin is pumping. No, it wasn't. Not. Market is not doing. Market's pretty boring right now. There's nothing special happening, to be honest. Okay. We're even looking at the monthly because that looks best. So we're taking fib from 12.05 to the highest point at 37.35. Going down to the weekly chart, it looks like we're coming back down to that level. Remember guys, we're just having a pullback, so no one has to be scared, no one has to freak out. We're just gonna do something like that. It looks super good. We're going down to the lower time frames. This is how it looks. Okay, same thing here. So we're taking Fibonacci because we are in a downtrend. Taking Fibonacci again from 33.19 to the lowest point at 27.28. Could see the market coming up and retest these levels around 30.97. Market comes back down to 21.71, and then you just might see the market starting slowly go to the upside. Guys, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. Like when you're having a system, this is the only thing that I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show you anything more special than just using the candlesticks with market structure, with price action and Fibonacci. Like that is the only thing that I'm using when I'm analyzing the charts. And of course it's more detailed things that I'm using before I'm entering a trade, but these are, so when you're waiting for the market to come to these targets, that's when you're starting to look at this, that's when you're starting to break everything down to the lower time frames and starts to, you know, fix the entry. So that's what I see on Cosmos. We could come up, obviously, because we want to buy, we want to sell as high as possible, and then we see the market coming back down. Yeah. Ask what Natalie's astrology sign is. Why you want to know that? Bello. And guys, remember, what? So right now, guys, if you're just scrolling down to this, to the description on Phoenix, we do have a bonus up to $4,100. So guys, you're just clicking on this link and you'll see that you will come into the front page of Phoenix, and it takes 30 seconds to register an account together with us. So remember, we do have claim the bonus. We're having it up to $4,100 right now. Super good, a super good bonus that we're having. So please guys, take advantage of that. So on Femex, it is up to $4,100. Okay, so we're continuing to Velo. I think that was the one. Okay, so I don't have so much data on this pair, but we did break the support that we did have around 0.311 on the monthly. So this was the monthly support that we are breaking. Maybe we have some more to okay, no. So we're continuing with this. So I don't have so much data on this pair because you're very smart and it's easy to learn from you. That's good. Thank you so much. Well, is it called Aquarius on English? In Sweden we say Vattuman. Okay, so we did break Velo monthly support right here. Obviously that is a very good is a super good target for us to use if we see the market coming up to that level, but it doesn't have to do that. You also have another daily support right here that we did break and retest at 0.23. And right now we are where the wick is, right here at 0.21. So see this, guys, market is moving from zone to zone. Market breaks this zone, retests that zone, comes back down to next zone, and the same thing will happen right here. Retest, continuation to the upside, or we can break it. So right now we're having huge momentum on the daily. On the 4-hour chart, you can start to see that we're having the market just going sideways. So the market is, it's going sideways, but we're still creating lower highs, right? The market is going down. And we can also take Fibonacci on the 1-hour chart from the highest point at 0.22 to the lowest point, and that is 0.21. And we've already been retesting the 50%, but we can come back up again to that level. If we're breaking this level around 0.21, we can come up to the previous support resistance around 0.221136. I can take another, yeah. So that is how it can look. But we want to see how the market is reacting to this support that we're having, and we took it from the wick that we're having on the 4-hour chart. Or was it on the daily? Yeah. So this wick right here that we had on the 2nd of June 2001. But we can also do something like this. So if you see the market actually breaking even more to the upside, we're taking Fibonacci from 0.23 to the lowest point at 0.21. The market can come up. So this looks so much better because that is also where the previous low was, at the previous lower low. And that could be between 0.222511 and 227781. I'm Aquarius too, lol. If gonna follow the channel, that's for sure. So helpful and explaining everything in detail. Thanks. No problem, Nicola. I'm super happy that you understand what I'm talking about.
That is the only goal right here, to try to make you understand. Okay, we're looking at Ethereum. Can you check Ethereum real quick? I see some huge buy orders in order book before, okay, before Ocean. Okay, so on the daily, we have a previous resistance right here, and this is where the market is right now, around 4,184 if we're looking at Ethereum. So that is why we're having trouble breaking this level. Looking at the lower time frames, okay, let's see. So we're having a previous support, resistance. This is a previous higher highs going back in time. This was the previous all-time high that we did have before on Ethereum. And right now we are having, either the market will respect it, yeah, so what I would want to see on Ethereum, but I'm definitely looking at the higher time frames. We can look at the 12-hour chart. I mean, yeah, we could either hold this as a support. We can hold it as a support, but we could also come up and retest 4,370, and then just might see the market coming back down to 3,900 for them breaking to the upside. So these three targets, 4,300, 4,100 or 200, and 3,900 or 4,000 is actually pretty good targets to see how the market is behaving between these levels right now. I do not care what happens right here. I actually don't care about this one either. I don't care about this one either. So between these levels, this is where the market will, go between right now. But we do have a huge daily candlestick since yesterday. So that is why I do believe the market could come back down a little bit more. But we obviously have to wait and see how the market is behaving. Well, then you wanted me to look at Ocean. Starting over, looking at the weekly, taking a Fibonacci. We're taking a trend line on the weekly chart. We're adjusting it on the lower time frames. We don't have to do that because that was so perfect, super perfect. Okay, maybe it's a little bit, maybe something like that, maybe. Yeah. And we came back down and retested the trend line. We are having the market just going sideways right now, even on the 4-hour chart. We can take Fibonacci from 0.9532 to the lowest point, and that is around 0.8146. We've been already retesting with a wick on both the 61 and the 50%. This is also a previous support, where the market could come back up to and retest, and then we could see market coming back down to the trend line one more time before we see the market continuing to the upside.
As always, guys, we are in a uptrend, but the market needs to correct itself and needs to come back down for then the market to continue to the upside. Looking at the higher time frames also, we can see that we're having a resistance and a support right here. So I'm having a Fibonacci on the weekly chart, and I took it from 0.5773 to the highest point at 0.9703, and I do believe we can continue back down to that level. It looks like that. So at that point we will break the trend line, but at that point also, if we see the market coming up again, we are adjusting the trend line where the market is coming to. So yeah, I do believe we will continue back down. I do believe that. Okay, so we're looking at Shiba. Oh, our favorite. Shiba Inu. Okay, we're taking everything away. Starting over. Taking a fib, even if the market doesn't have to come back down to that level, but I'm still doing it. So we're taking it from 6,889. And we're taking it from 6706. That is on the weekly chart. Looking at the daily, we're having the market just going down. We're having the market at a support right here. You can see the break, fake out, break inside, retest, continue to the upside. And right now it's the same thing like on the other pair. So either we could come back down, fake out, comes in, retest the trend line, or we can come up a little bit more, maybe to this previous high that we're having around 52.38, for example, then see market comes back down. So the market, I mean, sometimes it's super perfect, but sometimes not. So that is why we always have to follow it and see what could happen. If we're taking the Fibonacci from the highest point at 54.83 to the lowest point at 47.48, the market could, I mean, guys, come on, this is perfect. Can you see how the market is coming back up to that level around 51.93 that I was just talking about? Market could do that. That could be the pullback for then market continue to the downside. At that point, I will adjust my trend line with where the market is creating the next lower high. Could potentially happen. We could also see the market breaking this zone for real this time and then continues back down, because the targets that I'm having, that is, we could come back down to the monthly or the weekly, Fibonacci. And then we could just might slightly see the market continuing to the upside again. ADA, of course, Davor, thank you so much as always. Looking at ADA. Okay, so we did break today. So I was analyzing ADA this morning, Cardano, and we did break this key level around 1.9. 1.9. And it looks like we're actually respecting this level, right? On the 4-hour chart, you can see we could come up a little bit more to see the retest breakout to the downside. Looking at the daily, we just might look at the 12-hour chart. So we're taking Fibonacci from 2.0769 to the lowest point at 1.8723. And then we could see the market coming up to that level to have a pullback. Or we just might see during tomorrow that we're okay. So first of all, we could see the pullback to 61%, and that is around 1.9973. Then we could see the market come back down. If we're seeing the market actually breaking that level to the downside, we can come back down to 1.5. But another thing can also happen, and this is something that usually happens when you're coming down to a support or resistance, but this time this is a support. What we could potentially see is that the market tomorrow is actually breaking into the support again with a bullish candlestick. And then you have the retest continuation to the upside. Nicola Trax, Natalie is also from Balkan. No, I'm not. I'm actually Swedish and Finnish. But some people think that I'm Balkan. But I am not. So we could come back down. Obviously, if we're breaking that level, we can come back down to 1.5 also. And on Cardano, if we see the market actually breaking inside of the support again, the first target could be around 2, the next target could be around 2.2, and the third target could be around 2.3. Oh, Joseph is here. Hello, Joseph. How are you? Devar is such a good... He helps me so much. Super, super good. What was it? VRXP USDT. Jesus. Oh, shit. Looking at the daily. Okay, so we're just having huge momentum right now. So what we can use is this previous resistance that we're having around 0.8. We can also use the previous resistance at 0.814, 0.8155. Comunica, hello, how are you? Oh, no problem, Devor. Thank you so much. Hey, Nat, I said hi 30 minutes ago, but you're busy today. Also, sorry. So sorry, Joseph. My apologies. My apologies. Okay, so we could come back down to 0.8318. Yeah. It's really hard right now when the market is having the momentum. As you can see, we also did retest this previous high right here at 0.9. So either, I mean, we could come back down and retest it. We can also break it, retest, continues back down. But it's really hard. It's really hard when the market is moving so much. You're just having huge momentum. So the market can just like continue. And I don't have anything else to look at because it looks like this is the all-time high that we're actually having. So that's why.
Okay, Natalie, RNR. Nah. R NDR USDT. Okay, so huge momentum on this level too. We are having a previous resistance right here at the top of the wick around 5.2462. And we're also having the bodies right here at 4.700. We're taking Fibonacci from the lowest point at 3.8 to the previous high that we did have around 5.2. So if we see the pullback back down, we could either come back down and retest the top of these bodies that we're having around 4.7, or we're coming back down to the Fibonacci levels around 4.3, continuation to the upside. But if we're breaking, if this Fibonacci is not holding, we can come back down to this previous support around 4. And these are the targets that I'm using right now, because I mean, we have to follow the market. So for example, if we're coming back down to the support, that's when we're starting to look at the other levels. But too much levels on the chart will only confuse us. But these are the targets right now. And we want isn't that? So we're looking at Algo Grand. Starting with the weekly. I'm taking a Fibonacci from 0.8 to the highest point at 2.3. We are just right now touching the Fibonacci level 50%, and we've been holding this as a support. So strong support right here. If we're breaking that level, we can see break, retest on the 50%. We can come back down to 1.4, and that is the 61%. We just might have a fake out. Market continues to the upside. We could also come up So this is a supply zone where we can see the market actually, if you see the market coming up again,
the market could come up to 1.7629 for them breaking to the downside again. So that could be the pullback, the lower high. So that's what I see. Obviously, the market is in a downtrend, but I would never sell the market at a support, because that's when the market is going up, and then you see market goes back down. Rune. Oh, it was Rune. I was looking at. I was like, Rube? What's that? Thank you, Maxim. Okay, on Rune, I'm sorry. We are right now, so we're taking these away because that obviously already happened. The market is on its way. So I took the Fibonacci on the higher time frames. Obviously, I took it from 7.2 to the highest point at 14.8. Going down, yeah, well, the market could actually break this level. But we are right now respecting the now we did break the 50%, retested it, and we're also having previous high. This is the previous high that we're having right here. So we could come back, so we are inside the Fibonacci around 10.9 and 9.9. So around this level, the market is usually just consolidating before the market is actually on its way up to break to the upside, because we are in the uptrend, market pulls back. You can also see right here on the higher time frames on the daily that you did have a head and shoulders. What? Head and shoulders right here. Comes back down. We could come up and retest the neckline around 11.8, going to take a Fibonacci on the lower time frames. So we're taking it on the 12-hour chart from 13 to 10.7, and that is just where the neckline is. So you could see the market actually coming up to that level to create a lower high, and then the market is actually breaking to the downside again. But we have to have in mind that we're having the market that it could come back down to 10, and that is the start of the retracement, the impulsive move back up. Guys, we are just 5 likes away from 100 likes. Please, guys, if you haven't liked this video or this live stream, please go inside and click, so we are having at least 100 likes on this live stream, guys, please, so we can be able to reach out to more people. And Mark is here. Hello, Mark, how are you? So we're 98, so two likes away from it. 2 likes away. Congrats, 105 likes. Ah, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Yes, it's super good, thank you. Okay, looking at fantastic as always. Thank you so much, Mark. You too. Looking at Vin Theta. What's that? Win.
We're looking at win theta. Natalie, did you do any? Nope, I didn't do any shorts on Bitcoin. I've been super focused on back testing. So these last couple of weeks, the only thing that I have been doing is back testing the market, like 100%. I do not only trade Bitcoin, I trade other cryptocurrencies also. Not cryptocurrencies, I trade index pairs. And okay, so we're having a trend line on Theta token. Wunter von Hermit is here. Hello, how are you? So we're taking a trend line from the lowest point and we're just adjusting it on the daily chart. And we can also see that we're having a a trend line right here. And I'm using this trend line because this was the fake out and that could definitely happen again. We're having multiple fake outs from this level, but we can adjust it. Something like that. Looks good. It looks good. Oh, wasn't this VinUSDT? No, it was something else maybe. Okay, so the market came up to the resistance one more time, didn't have the power to break it, so the market is going back down. Potentially what could happen is that if we're taking Fibonacci as always from 7.9 to the lowest point at 6.2, the market could come up to the 50 and 61%, and that is around 7.2 or 3. Market continues back down. At that point, I have 3 levels right here. I have 5.8, I have 4.9, and I have 4.2, where the market could come back down to. But the market could also just retouch the trend line, and then you see market continues to the upside. We can also have the fake out where the market is actually touching 4.9, comes inside, retests the trend line, goes back up again. Usually what happens, but we are in a downtrend right now. So we can also see where the market, so if we're just adjusting this level, so the 50%, if we're coming up to 50%, that is also the previous lower lows that we're having. Market could retest that level, continues back down, just as I just told you. After win, I have contacted you personally. Instead of contacting me personally, guys, we do have the community. It's really good, and that's where I also answered the questions. So it's Bitcoinsensus Telegram group that we're having right now, where you can be able to ask questions to me, to Andy, to the other people in Bitcoinsensus. We have super good people about cryptocurrencies. So please, guys, be a part of the channel that we're having. Bitcoinsensus, everything is for free. So if you have any questions, please ask. Tag me in the Telegram group where they were put up I just saw the other of the more famous you get on YouTube, more groups you attract. Well, that's just a part of it. But guys, go inside of the Telegram group. It's really good. So if you are someone that really enjoy trading and cryptocurrencies, it's not just me. We are so many people inside that community where we are always talking about cryptocurrency. So you're more than welcome to be here, to be there. The more famous you get on YouTube, the more creepers you attract. I can't bear it. And scammers. Has anyone seen Wesley? I saw Wesley I was talking to him this morning. Okay, we want to see Scar. Okay, so we're looking at Scar. I think this is the right one. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But I'll start with the analyze, and we are at the support at 23. That is on the daily. This is a very strange pair, but I mean, no wicks, no nothing. What? We're taking Fibonacci because we had problem breaking this level before. We retested it, comes back up. So the same thing could happen right now. So we are taking Fibonacci from 21 to the highest point at 34. So what we potentially could see is that the market is actually breaking down to 26, and then we just might see the market trying to break it, but then you slowly see the market continues back up. The targets that I'm having is 36, it's 43, and it's 49. So the market did a high. We can create a higher low. As long as we're not breaking this low at 21, you could see the market continues back up to these levels. Okay, someone told the BTC Bitcoin something's happening right now, and okay, so Bitcoin, someone said Bitcoin has jumped. Do you mean pumped or jumped? Natalie, could you do Fibonacci on Bitcoin 1 hour chart? Yes, of course. It doesn't look that good to take a Fibonacci, to be honest, but we can try. I'm taking the Fibonacci from this high that we're having around 61,700 on the 1 hour chart now. Was it Mark who wanted me to look at it? And I took it from the lowest point at these wicks right here. You can also do something like this. I take it from this body right here, and that is 58,974. And you could see that this was actually where the market came up, and we just closed just with the 61%. Market comes back down, and right now we are at the 50% Fibonacci. I'm gonna take this one away, and I'm just gonna do another thing. So let's see how this is working. La, 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 la. Taking it to 90 instead. I'm using round numbers, and I'm taking the calculator from 6 minus 500 6290. Okay, so guys, if the market right now is gonna break, what was it? It was 60,290. If we're seeing the market breaking this level and retest it, I could definitely see the market continuing back down. Yes, so either it breaks the resistance or we just go down to the support, which would be bad, kind of. I mean, it's only bad if you only look at buy opportunities. This is what I always talking about. If you always, I mean, guys, the market is just going down. So if you're just trying to make the if you're just buying the market, it's definitely bad for you. It was scar, not scare. Haha. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I do believe if we're breaking, and we are right now at the 50%. If we're breaking 60,290, a retest, I see the market coming back down. Natalie Gala. Okay, Gala is having it's just huge momentum. If we're closing with a 4-hour candle, a bearish 4-hour candle, this would be a valid Fibonacci from 1.11 to where the highest point at 0.22. Scarface coin. It's like so yeah, this is also where we can see on the lower time frames we were actually consolidating around this level. As you can see, the market did go sideways, so we could come back down to these levels and see the market create the higher low, and then continues back up to create the higher high, I'm sorry. I mean, and the market won't just, you know, straight come back down, you know. The market is just like a stair, goes back down, goes around the Fibonacci around 1.15, and then slowly continues to the upside. So that is something that I could see right now. You can also take the 50% of this candlestick. So let's see, right here you have the 50% right here at 0.21759. So if we see the market coming up to that level and you start to see resistance, that for me could be a good target or entry to sell the market. Continues back down. She doesn't want to review my coin. Which coin? Scare. Scar. I was writing the wrong coin, I'm sorry. But I don't... Scar? Oh, okay. Scare. Sorry. Okay, we're looking at... Wasn't this the one that I was looking at? Scar B&B. No, she took the wrong again. For fucks. Don't swear on this channel. But I don't have any data on this one. It's really hard. It's really super hard to analyze a market looking like this. I don't have anything to look at. Sorry. Can't do that one. I don't have anything. Okay, so it's not... But with the FFT, I'm not gonna look at a pair like that. You can be polite to me if I'm gonna look at your pair, to be honest. What else? We did look at Algo, but we can look at it again.
No, what else? OMG, I know someone wanted me to look at OMG USDT. Okay, so I'm changing on OMG. I'm taking Fibonacci from 4.2 to the highest point, and that is 3.4, going to the lower time frame. So that is on the monthly. Okay, so on the weekly, we're about to reach this level, and going back in time, you can also see that this was where the market was going sideways, and then we could come back down to this level. So we're just having momentum to the downside. Okay, I just want to see how it looks on the 4-hour chart. Yeah, so the targets that I can see market coming back down to is around 7.7 and 8.8. So we could break this support right here at 10, and we just might see breakout, retest, continuation to these levels. But the Fibonacci levels, that's where I want to see if the market is actually going to hold it as Fibonacci. But you can see this is how it can look. So when we're coming back down, for example, so let's say this is what's happening right now. This could happen, and because the market is not just coming down to the Fibonacci levels, it's just starting to consolidate. So if we're having a market looking like this, it's really easy to lose money. But as long as we're seeing the market actually maintaining the higher lows, even if we're having the fake outs, try to spot the fake outs, because the market will have a lot of them. But as long as we're seeing the market slowly starting to break to the upside. Nicola, no problem. There's no problem, but I cannot see what's going on that chart. So someone wanted me to look at XRP. XRP. Yeah, so we've been analyzing XRP, and we are right now breaking to the upside. And we are right now retesting this trend line. So yeah, either we can come back down to the Fibonacci levels that I'm having on the higher time frames, and that is around 1, and it's also where we are right now, around 1.07. We're having the trend line, and I'm having it on the daily, and we are just respecting it, but we could break it, but that could be a fake out. But at that point, we're reaching the 50 and 61% level, and then we see the market coming inside again and retest the trend line for then continue to the upside. Oh, the coin was just released yesterday though, no wondering. So that's what I potentially can see on XRP. But to have in mind, we are at the trend line. The market did we are respecting it, but on the lower time frames, we could definitely just retest this previous support, then see we're breaking it, coming back down to 1.02. Yes, guys, remember, right now we're having a bonus on Femex. It's up to $4,100 in bonus. So please, guys, you just press this link, and if you're not already having an account, it takes around 30 seconds to create it. So go inside and claim this bonus. It is up to $5,100. So obviously, if you just having $100, you will not get the 4,100 in bonus. But on Phemex, we do have up to 4,100. So guys, use the bonus. It's super good for you. And if there's anything you're wondering, please let us know in the community group if there's something that you're wondering, or if you don't understand how to do that. I'm gonna end this live stream right now. Please, if you are not following me, please subscribe to the channel, because I always have daily updates on cryptocurrencies, and I have multiple live streams, and we're having such a good community about Bitcoinsensus, and you can be a part of our Telegram group, and you will find it right now in the chat where Davor just put it up. Thank you so much, Joseph and Davor, for helping me to help the people see what coins they want me to analyze. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this live stream if you haven't already done that. I have 111 likes already. Thank you so much for everyone taking your time. And we see each other in tomorrow's live stream. So tomorrow I'll have a 2-hour live stream one more time. Until then, I hope you all will be okay and trade with risk management and try to follow the market. Have a good day. Thank you for being on this live stream. Bye bye. Ciao Bella. Ciao Bella. Goodbye everyone. Have a good day.